Hello, my name is Christopher Stolzman, and today I will be discussing the Methodist Church denomination and how it blew up during the Second Great Awakening through the greater revivals of the early 19th century. As we know, the Methodist Church has grown ever since those great revivals. However, prior to the early 19th century, a lot of Americans had fallen out of religion after the end of the American Revolution. Uh, it is said in the book The Great Revival of 1800, during this time, that period between the end of the American Revolution and the Second Great Awakening, people were vain, dark, and wild, showing that, hey, there was more of a moral decay going on between that period. As, as they've lost passion, it had grown through the First Great Awakening, and that passion to defeat tyranny and become an independent state through the American Revolution. The need to combat the moral decay in the country was thrown into that Second Great Awakening and the great revivals of the early 1900s. Through the great revivals, the Methodist Church denomination exploded. In the book The Great Revival, many people flocked to this church because it had several edges over some of the other new churches that came through, such as they had camp meetings, just like the evangelicals of the First Great Awakening. They were meeting people where they were out in the open and creating an atmosphere that energized people. The second thing is they had physical activities where other churches such as the Baptists and other Presbyterian churches, they looked down on this. The Methodists welcomed this and brought that in, and it brought more people in. Other things such as preachers having less education, this actually put those preachers through the Methodist Church on the same level as the average person that was coming through the door. Another change that helped create the great revivals was the actual competitiveness between all these new denominations that were coming about. Right? We saw the growth of the Baptist, Mormon, and Methodist Church. However, the Methodist Church uh, actually had advantages and grew more rapidly than others. As said in the Great Revival and beyond, the Methodist Church derived its power from Jeffersonian democracy. So they were able to connect political ideals to this type of church where, hey, there's more of a common man approach to government as well as to the religion, such as the Methodist Church.